costume.
Ooh, you are a won't be ever
Lines.
Will you stand strong when the darkness descends and live long?
I had to go home this
Know that
afternoon,
you
this morning.
belong. You're never
So did I.
alone when it's all one. Awaken to the splendor of yourself, never forsaken. This chance you've taken will reveal itself in the long run. Will reveal itself in the long run. Come in with the light, you shine. Come in with the light, you radiate. Everything's alright when I see you shining. You are a won't be of love. Ooh, you are a won't be of love. Burn out the darkness that wants to invade and displace you from your most royal beginning.
Hey everybody, Longevity John here for another evening of what they call Flow, capital F, capital L-O, and capital W. It's Flow, for the love of words. Something that we started many years ago. We have a little bit of question as to what the actual...
There's no question.
No, there's a number.
18.
18.
Actually, we're closing in on 19, so that's exciting, eh? Only 2 more months till 19.
Wow.
I know. Crazy.
That's pretty cool.
It's
When
crazy.
people gather, not necessarily all the time big crowds, but the ones who do show up on a regular basis. And I think everyone enjoys what they're experiencing.
I hope
Now,
so.
if they're not reading, at least they're the people that are listening to them.
Yes.
And I noticed we have Newcastle John.
Newmarket.
Newmarket John.
Newcastle.
Sorry, Newmarket.
Is there also a Newcastle in Ontario?
No,
Maybe.
there's a Newmarket. My mistake. I was old.
I like Newcastle.
I got confused. I got nervous.
That's all right.
Newmarket John. I have him down as New John.
New John. That's right.
I never realized that I was that close.
To where
Newmarket.
you lived, you were.
Yeah, now it's a double meaning.
Well, we're glad that he's back because he was New John who wasn't around for a while.
Well, I enjoy what he writes. I enjoy what everybody reads and writes. It's kind of cool. Did you know? Oh.
I just want to interject. There is a Newcastle in Ontario.
Oh, there is. Dang.
Yeah.
That's right. I knew that.
There's
in
a
the
new
Durham
book.
region.
Right. There's a new book coming out, speaking of which, of people who write their thoughts down, or maybe not memoirs, but it's sort of a biographic memoir.
Yeah. Biographic memoir. Isn't that an oxymoron,
Maybe.
John?
No, it's redundant.
It's redundant. Thank
That's
you.
what it is. Well, but it's there's a lot because it's autobiographical.
That's a good term. Yeah.
That's what a memoir is.
He wrote it about himself. a
No,
memoir?
she. Farron.
She. Farron. Yeah.
Farron's putting a book out that's coming out of her.
Had an interesting.
Is
life.
it her memoirs or is it? I don't know. Is it first person? No,
You don't think it would be?
I don't know.
Oh, I bet it will be.
So is that a memoir?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it autobiographical?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one I used?
Biographical.
Biographical. That's when somebody else writes it for you. Your biography.
Well, yeah, 'cause I don't think she wrote it. She spoke it.
Oh.
Someone takes that and then you agree that that's okay.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. You could hire someone. You could hire someone.
No.
No. You're going to write your own? The Story of Longevity John.
No.
The adventure.
No, but I'm
Adventures.
really proud to. You know where they say that when someone copies you or imitates you, it's the highest form of flattery.
Yeah.
Steve Poltz, who I have the utmost respect for as a human being and just as an entertainer, and being in the moment and being able to tell stories and keep people captivated. and wrote songs with Jewel. Their first hits were together, and he toured the world, and he got to experience life, and it's always been good. And all he does is sort of basically tell you about it as he goes along. And he's written songs along the way, and he's got great observatory skills, and he knows how to manifest them into writing. And then him and Danny Michel are the best of friends, which makes a lot of sense if you listen to Danny Michel, who, you know, songs like "If God's on Your Side, Then Who's on Mine?"
Right.
You know.
That's a good question.
Well, it is. So they're that kind of in depth in it, but it's always there in the moment. And he wrote it, like, for example, when he performed here during the 39 Days of July. Ted had to go to the stage and say, "Excuse me, I just got to hold on for a minute between songs. But there's a car over here." What was the car?
It was a white Acura or Lexus or something, a white Lexus.
Whose lights are on.
Oh, yeah.
So he wrote a 7-minute song about
Right.
the car with its lights on.
Oh.
White Lexus, and it was awesome.
And then returned to it 3 or 4 songs later,
Right. Oh.
referencing it all the time. But then he also did a song that he sang to me, which was, it was really respectful for his understanding of sort of what it's all about, what we do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the highlight of that was today. He posted. Right. This is people say he stole it, and I go, no, he borrowed it.
Borrowed it.
He's having in February, mid-February, like 23rd, 24th, I think, he's having his 18th annual 50th birthday.
Oh, that's a good tradition.
He didn't know about that until he came and met us.
That's right. You.
So he has plagiarized. No.
Borrowed.
No,
Yeah,
borrowed.
borrowed.
No, that's the I see. Borrowed is an honor
Right.
to have someone, you know. It must be like for a songwriter when someone.
I think
does
we
your
borrow
song.
all the time, don't we, John? Where's John? You got to borrow as a songwriter, yeah. Copy even, influence, imitate. Yeah, yeah. Got to happen. Gonna happen.
Influenced.
Influenced. I was heavily influenced by Longevity John's 26th annual 50th birthday party. 27th annual 50th birthday party.
Because you got to count. See, and that's the whole thing. I checked in with it, and he actually realizes that even though I'm only 76, it's my 27th
So the first
celebration of a 50th birthday party.
Right. The first
You
one
gotta
counts.
first one counts.
First, yeah, okay.
So he acknowledged that. So there's all these little things that went on there. I went, well, that's really cool. You know, to come up with a phrase. The other one I used a lot this summer was independently poor.
That's a good one.
I think it's a great one.
Probably describes exactly.
Most artists.
Yeah.
You're an artist. And you're a thespian, too.
I'm independently
You
poor.
guys broke records this year.
We did attendance records, people, numbers, dollars, wine sales. Yeah, it was good.
Savings on dollars.
Savings on dollars. Oh, here he goes. Don't forget.
You heard it all here, ladies
Don't
and
forget to
gentlemen.
get my collection of $5 is ready.
Sorry, sir. I think it's in Toonies tonight.
Oh, okay, sure. Whatever you got, I'll take it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Flow, and this is Get It On The Go. It is all about the words.
Thank you, Longevity John, whose idea it was 18 3/4 years ago to begin this journey. So much appreciation, John. And also for all the work you do, and Theodore there, to create the longest festival in the world, 39 days plus 40 plus wind down Wednesdays plus birthday party. It's amazing. I got exhausted doing a 12-day Shakespeare festival. This is some really bad poetry that I'm quite proud of, because I think it's good that you can look back and you go, wow, that was really crappy poetry, but I wrote it. And it was a love affair with a Scorpio, Mark. Taurus and Scorpio diametrically opposed on the, what's that scale? On the astrological chart, the mythological astrology. And so if you're both dysfunctional, it makes for a lot of fiery sex. but not much function. So these are some really terrible poems, but it led to a good thing. Heather is the 5th poem in a 4-poem set, the immaculate underwater love sonnet that you dropped into the ocean that was swallowed by a whale and created gastronomic distress and floated up on the beach and blew a whale kiss to who else but Heather. Hips on fire, Pacific Rim, edge of sunset, heart on fire. That's terrible. It's got some nice imagery, but pretty. Thank you. You should have clapping for bad poetry. Heather is a double fudge banana split sundae on the hottest day in July, sweat dripping down the tickliest part of your arm. As you imagine that you are Humphrey Bogart and she is Lauren Bacall, she and her bananas have walked into your gin joint in the remotest part of the world where you move to play piano and pretend that life won't be impossible without her. See, I think my writing's thank you. I think my writing's come a long way in 20 years. Yeah, this is wonderfully bad. Heather is the lucky black gumball in an all-white machine, sliding down the tube like the gleeful shriek of playground sliders, all feet and no guff, slide fit to take your head off if you don't snap it all right. And pay attention, that's Heather. She's the lucky black gumball in an all-white machine. Whew. That's applause-worthy, too. Heather is a speedboat that I caught in passing on my 47th birthday, as if one more chance of youth and virility were about to hitchhike my ass around the world. And it would be a long, cold wait for any more adventures like that. Oh, my 47th birthday, Heather is a speedboat full of fun. That's a great one. Yeah, thank you. It's just so cheesy. Here's one more cheesy poem. Heather is an airplane that I caught in France and flew transcontinental with the doors open, fresh air invigorating, and the total anticipation or surprise factor being very therapeutic, as they say, falling without fear and holding my own destiny as if it were an egg I was about to cook. Hard-boiled, scrambled, soft-boiled, doesn't really matter. Those are great. Those are so great and bad. Okay, here's the great thing that came out of the relationship, though. So she was a serious hiker, and she would go on real mountain hikes with her girlfriend. And this one time, I went along to just wander off by myself and do smaller hikes. So Castle Lookout is on the highway between Banff and Lake Louise, and it's a very high peak, just sitting right over the highway. Castle Lookout parking lot off the Bowhead Highway, halfway between Banff and Lake Louise. I was making my liverwurst on rye sandwich when I look up and, 20 feet away from me is a fully grown black bear, sniffing the air, sniffing my sandwich. I hoot and holler and jump up and down as he looks at me as if to say, "Geez, buddy, I was only looking for a little food." He sways back and forth on his hind legs. Indecisive, I hurriedly put the liverwurst and all the other edibles into the car, and he finally decides that I'm too much trouble and ambles off into the woods. So that was pretty exciting. Yes, thank you. Great start. That was pretty exciting. A day by myself, and then I started to write this song, and I'm still trying to finish. I'm not going to read you the song because it's not finished. But I'm glad by going through an old notebook with cheesy poems in it that I found the thing that I was actually looking for, which is the bones of the song. John, that's a good feeling, right? You've been wanting to finish this song for years. I know how to play it. I didn't remember the word. Excuse me, sir. You going to be all right? I didn't know how to play it. And because of cheesy poems, I found it. Okay, one more. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, yeah. This is also one that I'm going to cover. If you are a librarian and you're unhappy with your work, you should go on the road and write folk songs. That's what O Susanna did. Many years ago, she was one of the early people that John had for his musical treats troupe. And she was a very good writer. Well, the first time I saw heaven, you stood in my doorway, scent of gardenia and lily. By your voice, I was led into a forest of cherry. When you lay down beside me, softly you did say, "You'll always be my baby, my baby. You'll always be my baby, my love." Well, you sure got some funny sense of forever. It always did end with the summer. I awoke in a bed that's as wide as the river, and a voice in my head that softly did say, You'll always be my baby, you'll always be my love. Well, 6 seasons have weathered since you stood in my doorway. Now you're stinking of blood and hard liquor. And you've come for a favor for your sorry sight to cover, and you've still got the nerve to softly say, you owe this to me, my baby, my baby. You owe this to me, my baby, my love. Now I don't need no tailor to sew this suit together. Your yarn is a worn-out old tether. You better button that collar for your going out to pasture, and I'll be counting the bounty when softly I'll say, you'll always be my baby, my baby. You'll always be my baby, my love. Thank you. It's great. So good to have the clapping. Mark, you look nonplussed. Come up, please. I haven't seen you all summer. Mark didn't make it out to Taming of the Shrew either. I don't know. He has some reason. It's not going to be a good enough reason, but I have to forgive him. 'Cause I'm a forgiving sort. How are you, sir?
I think every time that I've gone to this Shakespeare place,
Wait,
I sit there and I always find I think maybe I've gotten thicker as I've gotten older, but I'm always, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand. What's going on?
That's honest. That's good. Yeah.
So there's a lot of antics. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, you
Yeah.
know, and the chickens wandering in and out of
Chickens.
the audience.
Yeah.
That is priceless.
It's good. It's the best
Like
part.
if you've ever gone to the performance, that alone is worth the price of admission.
That's
Is
true.
the chickens weaving in and stealing your popcorn.
I think you and my daughter are on the same page on this. She stopped going 'cause she just didn't get Shakespeare. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's all right.
I-
Good
I-
answer.
I think I was smarter when I was younger.
Need to read the Cole's notes.
What's that?
Need to read the Cole's notes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Cole's notes. Well, welcome, Mr. Primer.
The only reason that I'm reading tonight is so that Juanine will read, and so to embolden him, I have to go back upon my old stuff, which this was written back in when I was having the affair. So you'll hear reference to both Shannon and Wendy, and this is called Conversation with Dog. I told her about Jesus, who had holes in his wrists. Because of Jesus, you will go straight to heaven, and that time you bit that girl, that will be forgiven. I've forgiven you. But more importantly, God has forgiven you. Cedar will go to heaven, too, and I'll go to heaven, as will Maggie next door, all of the neighbors' dogs, all the ones who accept Jesus' free gift. I hate free gifts, the free gift that's not a free gift. Heaven is the first free gift, the original free gift, where Jesus carries the coin and plugs the meter so that you and I can park free. I'm still not sure how I feel about that. Shannon will go to heaven, and Wendy will go to heaven, and Vegas and Echo will go to heaven. God has bones in heaven, lots of bones and cat treats. Ugh. Which are filthy and disgusting, utterly disgusting treats awkwardly gifted to dogs by way of cats. Until Shannon and Wendy get there, it's pretty much do what we want, waiting uneasily, of course, for Wendy and Shannon to arrive. Okay, I think you're overdoing it on the clapping. Is John's fault? Okay. That's it. That's all I'm reading tonight. Yeah. Oh, I did want to. You know what? I want to share something because, just because I find it interesting. Juanine already knows this story, but I wrote a post which I put on Instagram for my business, and I also put it on Facebook. I write about all sorts of shit. It doesn't have to do with the bakery. It doesn't need to have anything to do with the bakery. I just went over to Vancouver a couple weeks ago, had a nice day in the city, and I was just writing about my time in the city. And a part of that was looking down back alleys in otherwise nicely appointed neighborhoods and looking at people bending over and dosing on meth or whatever it is. And anyhow, I wrote this post about time in Vancouver, going out to restaurants, but also I incorporated a conversation that I had with a friend when I got back, and I was telling her about my experiences over in Vancouver, and she was telling me about she had been to Vancouver 2 weeks prior, and there was outside of her hotel in the no parking zone was a Land Rover that was parked, and the occupant of the Land Rover was having sex with his girlfriend or whore or mistress or what have you. Anyhow, it was just kind of like, it was a whole bunch of things. And it wasn't put in any way, like I wasn't writing a book. I was writing a post. But somehow, it got picked up. It got picked up on Facebook, and suddenly I had more comments than I'd ever had before in my life. Like there was 80 comments, and they were largely inflammatory, sort of like, what kind of a person does this? You know, it was a picture of the back alley. You couldn't identify anybody. And initially, you know, I was thinking I'm dealing with a real person, and I just try to, you know, respond in a neutral manner. But they just kept escalating it and making it worse and making it worse. And then people, or what I presumed were people, was piling on. At the end of the day, what I realized was I don't think that many of those responses were actually from real people. Like, it felt like it was being deliberately manipulated or used as rage bait to drive engagement. And I asked Claude and I asked Gemini, is this a thing? Apparently it is. So the next time you're on social media and you think you're dealing with real people, you may not be. Yeah. I had to take the post down because even though I could say to myself, it's not real. Its effect upon me was real. Because every time I'd open my phone, I'd be like, oh, fuck. So there you go.
Mark, hold it. Would you, with your most sensitive self, introduce your
Oh, okay. I met Juanine probably for the first time maybe 5-6 years ago or something like that. But it's only in the last year, really, that the relationship has taken off. Him and his wife run a small but mighty coffee place in Crofton that does really well, actually.
What's it called?
It's called Span. And Juanine spins records, and you know, it's this curious combination of the two of them. Tanya is like super. Not many people could do what Tanya does, and for that matter, not many people could do what Juanine does, which is to be excited and interested for 6-8 hours a day for the 4 days a week that they're open, and making people feel excited, because that's excited and are welcome. there's not a lot of people that have that ability because it's a special talent. I remember years ago I used to be a sales rep for Cisco, and I was up in Nanaimo, and there was this one place. It was called Tanya's, and it was a perky blonde who would get up at 6 a.m, work till 1 p.m. She had one cook, and she had one other person that would help her during the lunch hour rush. And she made like $350,000 a year on personal. That was her take home because she had it so dialed in. The profit was maximized. Like hardly anybody makes that amount of money or can do it because the skill set is, most of us just aren't wired that way. We get tired of people and we don't want to talk to another living soul. But this is Juanine and Tanya. Juanine has so many areas of brilliance and so many little boxes. It's quite astounding. It's quite amazing character. So I don't know. I'm not going to build up his writing abilities, but here's your kick at the can.
Hello. My name is Waning, and I am totally unprepared. That's good. I thought this would be very hard to do, but I feel like anytime I'm having any general conversation with any one individual, that this light exists in my world, so does this, and this might be actually pretty easy. I have things to say. They're right in here, but I'm going to go from memory. And if this is about poetry, there's quite a bit that's in my head in my life that's inspired by things I've overheard or things that I've absorbed. And here's one. And you might have already known this one. Although the world may scoff and jest, a life of service is the best, and happiness will always be he who serves humanity. Now that I overheard while I was skateboarding in a parking lot at 13 and making quite a ruckus, and somebody jumped out after I heard that and yelled, "Get a job." And that made an impact on me because I did have a job. I was a lookout for my mother, which was a prostitute, actually, in that parking lot, taking care of some of the members of the Eagles Lodge, which was a drinking club. And it was kind of like Moose Lodge or, gentleman's club. And I did have a job. And actually, I did get paid by certain means. I'm remembering back to my first job, and that was it. And that is because today is the day of my retirement from my career of 33 years in my trade. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to hear the words, "for he's a jolly good fellow," although that would be nice. I always thought at the end of my career, there'd be a room full of people with all of these chairs, all of my students and everybody I've cared for, congratulating me to get to the end. And poetry would probably not be what I'd be doing. I do think the reality of where I'm at right now, this alternate reality here in Canada, has a lot to do with really good decisions, and poetry has a lot to do with romantic decisions and the thoughts of being somebody that has gotten a job. In my life, people have actually tried to get to know me very quickly by asking me, "What do you do for a living?" Happens all the time. And I would say, "I make people comfortable." And that would mean a lot of things to different people. Does that mean you're a massage therapist? And does that mean that you're a mattress salesman? But I would let people go on. And after about 4 or 5 guesses, they would never guess that I fix furnaces and make air conditioners cool in a room that's too hot. But the reality is I've traded time for money. A lot of time for a lot of money. And I've done the right thing. Now I'm more so making sure that I don't make the mistake of meeting somebody new and asking them that question, what do you do? I think it's more important right now in my life and my time as I try to find solidarity in something absolutely ridiculous like, tell me about your hobbies. And finding somebody that is in a certain age group where you'd understand that they would just say work or, no hobby at all. And right now I'm actually in a world where I'm having to enjoy life with my hobbies and also constantly look for things that are odd inconveniences that will bring me joy. This is one of them. I'm not comfortable up here. I'm not. But I think that the opportunity to try something new, well, this might be me enjoying life with a new hobby. I didn't know. Do I have poems? Oh, fuck yeah, I do. Let me see if I got something for you. Day before yesterday was my 25th wedding anniversary. Now, for 25 years, I have surprised her with a number of things, but one of the things I've never given her is a written poem. And this was very surprising, and I'll read it just as this. I'm married to a graphic designer. This is not the poem, but this is the intro into it. With graphic design, there's a lot of textures. There's a lot of things that have nothing to do with how someone draws a picture, but more importantly, how an arrangement of colors and textures, like a florist. A florist may actually know a lot about the flowers and the work, but it's more about the arrangement and the contrast and the emotion. So one of the things that I simplify, and I am an artist, but I am actually reminded constantly in my life from my wife that I do not have an art degree from Nova Scotia, NASCAD. That is a fact. This poem is called In Full Color. 25 years, and you're still my best friend. We've traveled the world, made a life out of a bunch of ideas. Details, detours, coffee, cats, and color. And I will emphasize that I have spelt color, C-O-L-O-U-R. I'm an American. You keep me on track. You hold me accountable. You make everything more beautiful and full of color. So I've given her 3 fountain pens, and I've written these 3 pens have 3 different inks, red, blue, and green. From these 3 simple colors, a world of all colors can exist, much like us. In those 25 years, our life is still being written in full color. Tradition states that the gift for 25 years is silver, but the only silver that I have to offer is the silver in our hair as we grow much further together. That's the poem. So back to the concept of things rhyming and not. My life has been kind of a big bouquet, and I am very fortunate to have that all together in 1 week. I've had my retirement, her birthday, my birthday, and the anniversary, and this has been fantastic. I'd like to close actually with something that made me think back about when I was that 13-year-old kid with a skateboard, overhearing this concept of gentlemen being happy about their careers and lives of service, where I had the concept of yelling out loud to people that were strangers and older, "Die, yuppie scum." Man, that was cold-blooded. And one day when I was older and old enough to have a car, I got this sticker that said, "Mean people suck." Oh, that's horrible. And one day I took a knife and I cut off mean. I just had people suck. And yes, a life of service is the best.
Come on up, my friend. We've walked by your coffee shop twice with Mark. Come on up. I'm just chatting with you. And yeah, I like it from the outside. So I hope one day to come when you're open, enjoy it. A couple of times we did the Crofton walk. We've missed our outings lately. Anthea, welcome.
Thank you.
Your first time here. What makes you most passionate about writing? What do you enjoy about writing?
What makes me most passionate about writing is the meditation in my mind as I work.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Well, I'm going to leave you to it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Anthea Whitaker. I'd like to begin this evening.
Sorry, just
Oh, it's not
voice is quiet.
a little quiet, sorry.
No. You do apologize.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'd like to begin this evening by reading a poem by First Nations autochthon poet Renee Robinjani, who lives on Pandora Block in Victoria. It's called "We Are Human Beings Too." Those who live, those who died, there is some story from when we were little. There is no justice of what happened to us. People look at us as if we're not there. How can it be that a lot of people do not care? It's not fair. Of the story amongst us we actually share, stigma, judgment, a one-look stare. Why is it they want us to die? They haven't given us a chance. People have homes, a car, a bed. We don't know what goes through our head. Why bring us down? Pick us up instead. Whatever ailed us from growing up, what brought ourselves down, so why don't you pick us up? We are real, the pain is real. Can't we all be true? Think with the heart, our blood is blue, but we all bleed red. So that's a poem from Renee Robinjani. Now I'd also, I'm sure all of you know that we lost a legend today. Dolly Parton passed away. Yeah, Dolly Parton passed away today at the age of 80, so it's a real tragedy. So I'd just like to read one of her songs, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. So just thinking of Dolly Parton today. And one of the things I learned, which I didn't know about her, was that she had started a nonprofit called the Imagination Library, because she came from a family of 14 children, but her father was illiterate. And so literacy was really important to her. So she started the Imagination Library, which donated millions of free books to children. So she did that, and that's part of her legacy. And I thought that was really beautiful, that she cared enough about the children and about books to start that foundation, the Imagination Library. Just sort of poetry and books and stuff. Okay, this is a poem called Brown Velour Onesie, and it's a poem I wrote about my little sister in her brown velour onesie. Once a pony time, and I don't mean to complain, but it ain't no typo, I ascertain. because none was the Dairy Queen, now with non-dairy dilly bars, where Edmund would always be, with his Dumbo ears kinda cute, they seemed to me, till they turned all purple and blue because his mama was sick of looking at them sticking out, so they took him to a doctor and cut and peeled them back, and it looked like Pain with ears too big might catch the rain, but he be in kindergarten with me, he asked diligently, "What you bring in for show and tell?" "I bring in my baby, just wait and see." Once a month, it was Terrific Tuesday when a full meal deal was $2.99 and you got a burger, fries, and Coke and a red tray to carry them all through. And there's in a land where lions and tigers and bears are animals so tame, and leaving on a jet plane was something she started to do, so I sang her that American tune. As I can't take her to kindergarten show and tell anymore, her in a brown velour onesie, we passed her around, and I was beaming proud as can be. "See, it's my baby." "She is yours, she your baby be?" "Yes, indeed, but you are only 5 years old, you know, Mama B." "Doesn't matter, this baby be me, no be my sweet sister, silly. She looking like a bumblebee in that brown velour onesie, once upon a time." Thank you. And this poem is called "I'm Not Quite Sure What a Blue Sky Day Is." This poem I wrote, this is in Victoria, a man named Kevin Spence, a poet, came to town and he started what was called a poetry crawl, which instead of going to the bar and drinking and going to the pub and going for a pub crawl, you went to an art gallery and you wrote a poem about the art that was there. And then you went to the next art gallery and you wrote another poem. And there was a group of about 10 of us that he took on this poetry crawl to 3 different art galleries around town, which I thought was really fun and way more fun to me than a pub crawl. So there was at the Gallery Gachet, there was an art show called "I'm Not Quite Sure What a Blue Sky Day Is," and it was all this art about the sky. And so this is the poem I wrote about it at the poetry crawl. "I'm not quite sure what a blue sky day is, but triangles at sunset, variations of lingering light leaving, a collage of diamond-shaped prisms of water teach me, cobalt and deeper leftover sky, loud at first, a face forming in the cloud, blue sky muted moving, then captured by a Jinx camera, teach me that a glimpse is not always held still, jagged humans hiding under cover, floating high rain, sky in turmoil, a new black speck hits horizon. Is it the sediment rock of the planet leaking? Teach me, elements of nature, rails of periwinkle indigo interrupting, primaries sharp in red skin, yellow sun, blue sky again. Is the color holding up the sky? Teach me, the faith of trembling cloud, whiteness now cowering, self-taught, because I'm not quite sure what a blue sky day is. Thank you. And one more. Do I still have time or am I running out of time? Okay. This is called Brave Heaven. Oh brave heaven, the ways of community I have met leave an entire world of love, speed up my step. Oh brave heaven, you know I am a doubting Thomas, but I pray to your earthly wind, I hear an echo from your promise. Oh brave heaven, light up my night, offer up the pure intuition from a respite from this plight. Oh brave heaven, I heard the time was now to throw away my tears of loss, to make a peace from my how. Thank you, that was Brave Heaven. And I think I have 2 more. Do I have time for 2 more short ones? Okay, great. This is I was at this recovery center, and there was a group, and it was called Rap and Recovery. And I thought the group was, we were going to go and listen to rap songs. But we got to the group, and they said, "No, you're going to write rap songs." I was like, "Oh my goodness, we're writing rap." And so we had they'd give us a picture, and we had 20 minutes to write a rap song, and then we recorded it. And so this is my 20-minute attempt at rap. It's called My Purpose. To express empathy and loss and a love for my family, I start to be true, to lend an ear and a heart to you. To express my thoughts every day in this song, that is my way, my purpose, my way out of blue. Since the day that I was born, always true love I was shown, a radical I've become, to love to learn, to write my name in the sun. My purpose, my writing, my art, supporting the children I've known from sisters true, nieces and nephews. To learn something each and every day. This is my purpose. This is my way. To be true, to be true, to be true. Left-wing politics I support. Nonviolent action is my retort. Learn from cities and allies I have found. Grief, sorrow, loss has followed me too, often turning me a shade of blue. But purpose I have found from then, even from pain, I'll find a new start. Grief might be my teacher, and I'll write my heart. Thank you. And I'll just finish off with, I have this collection of, they're sort of like, I call them 22 small stories, and they're like an entire story in a paragraph. So I'll read you about 2 or 3 of them. The High Level Bridge. The day my best friend Katie invited me to go to her house, we walked all the way. We crossed the High Level Bridge to the south side of town where she lived. I thought it was the highest bridge in the world. We were happy, the two of us, 7-year-old girls, walking along the bridge on a freezing day in February. I peered over the edge of the rail, looking out to the North Saskatchewan River, frozen. Cars flashed by us on the inside, blowing more cold air and ice at us. I held onto Katie's hand with my mittened fingers. I shifted my backpack to the other shoulder. The river was still moving in parts, with chunks of ice shifting so slowly I could barely see it through the gray of the day. Earthquake prevention. When we get home, I want to do some earthquake prevention with you. Okay, was her response, but then she started to laugh. She honestly thought it was funny that her lover believed that booklets printed in 4 colors, heavy stock, offered by City Hall, if followed, would somehow prevent life-shaking damage from earthquakes. But she answered her again, sure, as she knew this was much more about anxiety and less about prevention. She thought of the stacks of jarred water and canned food and nailing books to bookcases. I'll learn preventative measures from you. You've read the booklet, right? How to hide under furniture as the walls start to shake, which exit not to use, when to walk and when to run, and when just to sit still and let the shaking take you. Figure out when to be terrified of the noise and its pending doom, and then on the other hand, when to listen to the boom of an earthquake as though it was alive, a rock concert for which you hadn't bought a ticket. And the last short, small story is called Doggy Style. We used to do it doggy style in the living room. You did not. I was 16. I hardly knew what doing it doggy style even meant, but Caitlin was telling the truth. We totally did. He came by to fix my mom's kitchen. He was the neighbor's carpenter, but he was redoing our countertops, and he was really cute. Mom would go out shopping, and he and I would do it. Caitlin looked at me. How do you think I got this? She patted her big round belly. I figured I should believe her. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthea. Oh, that's sad news about Dolly. I love Dolly. And what a real true spirit. No, I'm glad that you told me. One doesn't want to go about knowing you've lost some of your heroes. An astute businesswoman as well as a great performer and writer. She had to be tough. She was a legend. And then I was thinking about the poetry crawl. We used to have, for a few years, Verse and Vision. Did you ever do that, Mark? Where either a painter would paint a painting in reaction to a poem, or adversely, a poet could write a poem in reaction to a painting. And I had a lot of fun doing it one year with the beautiful Vivi de Graaf, who was a great artist, talented artist. Come on up, John. This story is partially about you. And one time, I had this idea that we would do tasting notes. I don't know if Mark was around then, but we hosted it at the Firehouse Wine Bar. So the idea was to get people to drink a little and to write their own tasting notes, like the interesting things. And we were drinking beer as well as wine, but it was kind of an interesting night, except that my beautiful partner, Vivi, was not really interested in, you talk about people who are not queued up for groups or welcoming groups or talking to groups. And she was definitely not. She was a one-on-one person. And so she was kind of lost. And who saves the day but this handsome Lothario was there to talk to Vivi while I was entertaining the room. In fact, I suppose that he stole her on that night, but he doesn't remember it that way.
No.
I think
Do you remember that night?
no.
Oh, we were at the wine bar. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, at the wine bar.
Yeah, yeah. And you two
Are
ended
you
up
talking about when you did the
tasting notes.
tasting
right?
notes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you guys were
Oh,
chatting
and we
I was.
won. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to split the prize. Was that her?
We split the prize. Yeah, well, I don't remember that part of the story. Anyway, that was just a segue to introduce John. We're glad to have you back, and I see that I think that you brought another.
I did.
Okay,
I got to keep the
that's great. I love
momentum going.
it. Nice, John Hadfield from Newmarket, ladies and gentlemen.
I tried to forget about that place. Now I'm getting reminded all the time. It's terrible. Just terrible.
We'll just call you New John.
Isn't that from Robin Hood? Oh, it's Big John, Little John, Little John and Big John.
Yeah, no, New John, and I have those. Is Ted up there? No. I have a whole pile of guitars, and so I was using them as props and telling stories, and
That's a beauty.
it is. And it has a story, and I'll tell it real quick. I have a friend in Victoria. He works in construction. He has fingers like sausages. And one day he texted me, and he said he went downstairs in his apartment to throw some garbage in the dumpster, and he noticed a guitar case sitting on the top of everything. So he pulled it out, not expecting to find anything, and this was in the case. In a dumpster. So he says, I've always wanted to learn to play guitar, and I thought this might be my chance, but he says, I don't know how to work it because it's actually somewhat complicated. It has a whammy bar, so there's a whole mechanism back here with springs and everything. It also, the tuner's locked, so he didn't have any clue of how to tune it or what to do. And there was a couple of things broken down here. So anyway, I restrung it, fixed it up, got the whammy bar working. Maybe I should put that on.
Is that a Samick?
No, it's an Ibanez. Which, I should have said that out front. That.
Is that a fancy guitar in Ibanez?
What's that?
Is that a fancy guitar in Ibanez?
Well, they're made in Japan, and this particular one is called an Ibanez Roadstar 2 series, and there was an American involved in the development of it. And the same company, there's a guitarist who, Shredder, I'm trying to think of his name, but he had Ibanez make a guitar that had like a handle right here, and it was based on the Roadstar. So anyway, he brought it over to my apartment. I fixed it all up. I show him a couple of chords. And, I said, this isn't really the kind of guitar you would want to learn on, It's a little too, you really need to be practiced. And so he took it home, and I never heard much about it. And then... Yeah, it's a 1984 to 1985 RS 530 Black Ibanez Roadstar 2 series. So you need to know all that when you're finding parts. And then, curiously, in the case was the original bill of sale. So I opened it up, and a guy named Tom Bogle from Scarborough, Ontario, he bought it on May the 5th, 1986. And the interesting thing was he bought it from the music shop at 8147 Yonge Street in Thornhill. And you may have heard me talk about my friend Howard at times. That's where he worked. So then I thought, I wonder if Howard sold him this guitar. It was $587.14 with tax.
What year?
He bought it in '86, but the guitar itself, because of the serial number, you can't quite tell was it 84 or 85. It was right on the cusp. And So, a dumpster find.
You think it was a divorce kidnapping?
Well, my speculation was that it was a pissed off girlfriend. And just threw it away. Because that can happen. And so there was a couple of us all had birthdays in January. So my friend Guy threw a party for us all. And we were all over there, having a nice time. And he brings out the case with a bow on it. And I thought, uh-oh. And then I just looked at him. I says, I was wondering when you were going to hand it off, because you can't play it for shit, And I just picked it up. I don't play it much. I picked it up this afternoon. It was still in tune because of the locking. Well, they got fine tuners right down here, so if it's a little off, you can just twist it. Otherwise, you got to loosen all this off. And, So, Jeff Beck. And three-way switches. It's quite complicated, really, for, a dumpster guitar. So, I ended up with it. Now that I look at it, I think, ooh, it is really nice.
Okay, let's hear it.
Hear it?
Are you gonna play?
It's electric.
You have to plug it in.
That was part of his problem.
And the sausage fingers.
The sausage fingers, the neck is, it's really slinky, and, for him, I said, I guess if I was a nice guy, I would have given him a guitar that he could play. But then he said that he really wasn't that interested in it. So now I have a bit of a dilemma, because last time I told the story of a guitar, and then I had written a ton of songs on that particular guitar. I've used this one a couple of times for recording purposes, but I can't say I wrote on it. And Mark said that reading song lyrics, but sorry, and Anthea, she started it, so I thought, what the hell? If I can find him. Uh-oh. Yeah, just before. Have you ever done that and you're... Oh, here it is. I have a 98-year-old mother, and I'm the registered caregiver. I have two sisters. My brother died, so he was out. My sister stayed, one of my sisters, younger sisters, stayed for 4 years with her at the house, and I used to spell her off. And so anyway, long story short, I had to put her in respite because I had to go to Victoria because I got cancer, and I had to get bone scans and blood tests. So while she was in respite, she fell over and shattered her T12 vertebrae. And they didn't say anything. I picked her up the Friday morning. No, Thursday. It was a Thursday. And Friday morning, when she was trying to get out of bed, she was like making a lot of noise, like it was painful. And so within 10 minutes, I decided this is beyond my pay grade, and I called an ambulance. So she's been in the hospital since then. It'll be like 7 weeks on Friday. And in the meantime, she had vascular dementia, and she also gets UTIs, urinary tract infections, which I did not know with women that can set them off like they go nuts, like worse than dementia. So she had a trifecta of Dilaudid, like a morphine for the pain, vascular dementia, and a UTI. And, not to put it... At one point, they had her tied down in a five-point restrainer in the bed because she was just... They said for a 98-year-old woman, they call it being spicy. That's what they call it. So anyway, I wrote this song. I got a crazy old lady done lost her mind, kicks and screams, lost in time, seeing ghosts all around her bed, flipping in and out of a brain-sick head. Attacks her caregivers, so nasty and cruel, then sweet as an angel, treats 'em as fools. Caught in two worlds, fighting for her soul, sundowner syndrome has taken control. It ain't no way to end my mama's life. The world ain't fair when madness is rife. A mind is a precious thing to lose when evening comes with them sundowner blues. There ain't no cure like for broken bones. She ain't gonna make it back to her home. She can't understand what you're trying to say. She's losing her mind as she's slipping away. Ain't no way to end my mama's life. The world ain't fair when madness is rife. A mind is a precious thing to lose when evening brings them sundowner blues. It's so hard, looking back, to find the mother I thought I should have had. Every day reminds me still that love can heal and always will. But it ain't no way to end my mama's life when evening comes with them sundowner blues. Thank you. I hadn't heard of it, because there was a specific time of day when she would go off, you know. I said, what, what? And they said they call it sundowner syndrome, that at a certain time of day they just go off. It's pretty violently, too. And, I mean, when I say nasty, the nurses are pretty good with it. She's such a sweet old lady. So, while I was at the hospital in Victoria, and for the bone scan, they inject you with a radioactive dye, and you have to wait for 3 hours till it infuses your bone, and then you get the scan. And in the cafeteria, they have a baby grand piano, so I've been there a few times. I've written a couple of songs sitting at that piano. So this one's called These Old Bones. I sit here waiting for my bones to get ready. They're dyed to give up all their clues. Oh, I've been hurting and the pain is steady. I'm hoping my bones will share their views. I'm getting kind of old to bear all this pain. It takes away my joy, swirls it down the drain. I can't go on much longer. Should I let it go? I'm hoping my bones will let me know when it's time. These old bones got a lot to say, spinning tales of all my yesterdays. These old bones dragging me through hell. Yeah, these old bones got stories. These old bones got stories to tell. Now I'm waiting on the news. I'm scared and alone, waiting by the phone. I know what can happen, but I don't want to lose. These old bones got thrown to see if I'm going home. These old bones got a lot to say, spinning tales of all my yesterdays. These old bones dragging me through hell. Yeah, these old bones got stories to tell. I crashed my old Anglia into a tree. I T-boned my motorbike into a car. I tempted death thinking that was truly me, but my bones are the ones that bear the scars. These old bones got a lot to say, spinning tales of all my yesterdays. These old bones dragging me through hell. These old bones got stories to tell. Thank you very much.
Cheerful, fuck you. Tell him to go to hell. That old baker don't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's an ignorant cunt.
Ignorant cunt.
I'm gonna put it mildly.
No, that's true. I think you're right.
No, I wonder about him.
You're not the first one to notice. Don't worry.
No, I don't
No,
think
that's
so.
right. He's got a sweet side, and then the
And then he has this other.
ignorant. What's his name?
He's always so appropriate in his responses.
Yeah, I know. I bet
Very-
I bet he's never cruel to you that way, is he? Not yet.
Yeah.
No,
just-
give it time.
Yeah,
Give it
just
time.
hang on a bit. just have some trouble come in your life, and he'll
Oh.
be right on your side. Empathetic as hell,
Oh,
Yeah. I told him, I'm not sure. I think I'm dying, and
Yeah.
so the next time I saw him, he returned some books I lent to him.
Great. You think it'd be the other way around? You'd not worry about returning them.
Yeah. Well,
Well, what do you got?
one of them was about passionate marriage.
Oh.
I said, "Did you read that?" And he goes, "No."
Oh,
Yeah.
he should have read that one.
I know.
I know.
And
yeah.
the other one was Marcus Aurelius.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't interested in that.
No. What does he read? Oh my God.
If it doesn't have hair, on it or bounce around a little, he's not.
He's
interested.
not interested. So shallow.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad. Welcome to the Mark Primer roast. Does anybody have anything else to add? Thanks everybody for your contributions. Very enjoyable evening, and we'll be back in September, right? The last Tuesday of September. And I just want to say, it kind of as a bookend to that terrible Heather poetry. I am going to finish the song, but the best piece of poetry I think I ever performed with Heather was we went out for a date in Victoria, and we saw a concert, and then we went to the Cheesecake Factory. It was such a romantic night. We were coming back up the Malahat, my 72 Oldsmobile, and the moon was out. It was just beautiful. I thought this is the perfect time to attempt to perform Cunnilingus on the Malahat. And sure enough, and I don't want you to think I was irresponsible. She did have her left foot on the steering wheel, and she was watching the road. I had the gas pedal and my other duties. So that was the craziest moment I had with Heather. Much better than the poetry I wrote, obviously. Thank you. Good night. All right. We'll see you next month. What's that? Cunnilingus on the Malahat. Okay, I'll write that down. I'll write that down. Make a good book. Make a good book. Oh yeah, poetry is fun. Well, there he is. Thank you, Anthea. Yeah. And Juanine for your contributions. Much appreciated. You did well, sir. Beer?